Number one, hostility in the world will hurt you, especially if you're a Christian. Notice the words Paul uses that highlight the hostility that Christians will experience. He uses the word, and explicitly he uses these words, persecution, right? So bless those who are persecuted. He uses the word evil, verse 17. Repay no one evil for evil. And then again in verse 21, do not be overcome by evil. And he uses also the third word, enemy, verse 20. If your enemy is hungry. So these are explicit words that lay out the fact that if you live in this world, and especially if you're a Christian, you're going to face persecution, evil, and enemies. No doubt about it. That is clearly something you should expect. And then notice some implied references that point to this. For instance, in verse 16, live in harmony with one another. The fact that he has to command that suggests that you are going to live in a world where there is no harmony. It'll be hard to find. Number 2, verse 18, peace. Live peaceably with all people. And the fact that he has to say that reveals the fact that sometimes living in this world will feel like we're at war. Just in a society, just socially speaking. Just trying to get along with people will feel like a battle. And you will get hurt. And then number 3, the word avenge. Never avenge yourselves. The fact that he has to command that suggests you will be tempted to retaliate. So think about that for a second. If you've come in here this morning, the Bible is clear that we should expect that this world is hostile. Now, I want to say that because I'm thinking of 2 people. One is the person that comes in here and you have learned over time to kind of get callous to the world. You've been hurt so many times that you're not going to let the world hurt you anymore. And so you don't show any hurt, right? You're a tough guy or woman. And maybe that happened to you and you weren't really thinking that's what you were trying to do. It just happened. And so the problem with that is, if you're a Christian, that may be a way for you to avoid hurt, but it'll also be a way for you to avoid blessing. Because the fallow ground may be hard to break up, but it also will not receive the water. And so you will be a person who lives with trusting in Jesus, but little fruit in your life, little joy in your life, little, refreshing in your life, because the same thing that you're using, trusting in to defend you from the hurt of this world is the same thing that is going to prevent the healing to come through the gospel. And that's why in the Old Testament, the prophets say, break up the fallow ground, right? So that you can receive. But here's the problem with people like that. The worst problem is it's not only hurting you, it's hurting people who see you and think, well, that person doesn't have any hurts in the world, so maybe it's me that I have hurts. And so there's some of you that have come into this place and you feel like, why am I the one always getting hurt? Is there something wrong with me? Why do I have all the scars? So, some of you, I'll be honest, some of you talk about your hurts all the time. Your focus is more on all the troubles you have and all the people that have hurt you and all the things that go wrong in your life and all the things, and it's constantly about those things. And it's not to say those things aren't painful, but you haven't got past them, and you might even wonder, is that a reflection of who you are? And I want to say this, it's not. The Bible says this is a hurtful world, and you and I should expect it on a regular basis.